welcome you live here for season 3 preseason testing. We don't have opening titles yet. We don't have it created yet. I'll get that created during this week, and we'll have opening titles for the first race of the season in Australia. But yep, we're all good up and running, and yep, time to get season 3 underway here. We got an hour of testing, which is the longest testing session we've had or ever. Yeah, we haven't had an hour-long test session before. Last time we even did testing was back in season 1. We had a 30-minute test there, and that was the first form of Allegiant stream, which was also not the best quality. But yeah. Probably not gonna be a whole ton of commentary from me tonight. I'll try to keep it kind of interesting, but not gonna be a whole ton of action. It's just an hour-long practice session here for testing. So probably not gonna be the most entertaining stream, but this will prepare us for later this week on Friday for the season 3 opener in Australia. I don't think I ever posted the schedule yet on the channel, so I'll probably go ahead and do that so you guys can look at that. But yeah, here is Michael Lonsberry here. Made his debut in Brazil, last time out in Brazil, which was the final race of season 2, and yeah, he got a P2 finish, so it was a pretty good performance for him. He was on Aston Martin, he moved to McLaren. We got a kind of a refresh with signups, so there's been a lot of seats shifted around. It was just kind of first come, first serve, because we had a bunch of people in the league that signed up but never really raced. So we just wanted to kind of get a little refresh. And yeah, Michael Lesberg got the McLaren, and yeah, is another big person, big driver that you'll see that also switched teams is Dylan Fake. He was going to go to Red Bull, but it filled up so fast that he had to go to a different team. He chose Ferrari, so yeah, we're going to see Dylan Fake on Ferrari, which Ferrari also won the final race of season 2 in Brazil last time out. So yeah, Ferrari has seen some success, I guess, but yeah, might see some more Ferrari success with Dylan Fake trying to get Ferrari a world championship in season 3. Is I do see a little bit of raindrops. I do want to see. I don't know if that is raindrops or not. Looked like it was. Let's see the tires that everyone's on here. I'll probably put that up because I think we might get some rain this session, which is interesting. As yeah, it's not on the wets yet, but I think there might be some weather coming in here in Silverstone. But yeah, so go ahead and put on that graphic with the tires stuff. A lot of people going out on the softs here. Yep. As Michael Lonsberry first car over the line in season 3. He sets a 128.5, but his teammate Ardo Mornow goes top of the board with a 128.5. Really similar pace between the two McLarens. Ardo Mornow is top of the board here in testing. As yeah, that might stay for a while if it starts raining. So might not be the best session to see pace. That's usually how testing is anyway. As here's Jonathan Hibbett in the Red Bull. Kind of had a little bit of a lackluster season last season. He's looking to turn around this season. He was really fast in F124, which was season 1, but season 2, when we moved to F125, he's just kind of struggled to pick it up. And yeah, he's in the 130s right now. I think the track's probably slowing down quite a bit though. because there's, I believe, yeah, you can see the raindrops on your screen. Yeah, it's definitely track's probably gonna start to slow down. So I'd probably expect the McLarens to be top of the board for a while, and that's a good lineup for the McLarens too. I do want to point that out. McLaren has, we've said it before, but McLaren has seen like no success in Formula Allegiant, like literally no success because they just haven't gotten a good lineup. They actually have a good lineup going into this season, so it'll be interesting to see how McLaren does. With Michael Lesbury and Ardell Moore now. Pretty solid lineup. This is Dylan Thake cutting through the grass. Oh, Dylan Thake saves it. He's on a 134.3, but I'm assuming he made a mistake on his lap. This is Billy Kreger going to start his lap. He's in the Ferrari. He was on, I believe, McLaren last season. He switched to McLaren about like middle last season, I believe. I believe that's just based off memory. But yeah, he's on the Ferrari now. So yeah, he's on the hards. But I kind of want to save this for last. This is probably the biggest story. Maddox Beard is returning to driving for season 3. He obviously raced season 1. On F1 24, but then he took a season off, went to the booth with me, and he was our co-commentator for most of season 2. But now he's back on Red Bull, and he's gonna be driving for Red Bull for this season. Yeah, I would definitely look out for him to be a championship contender because, I mean, he was already pretty fast on F1 24, and that was with not a whole ton of F1 league racing experience. And now he's got a good amount, and yeah, I think he could definitely be a contender as he slides through the final corner. Here's Silverstone. He sits a 131.4. Track's definitely slowing down by the minute here in Silverstone, but yeah, Maddox Beard, a good friend of mine actually. We're actually real life friends, which is kind of a fun fact. We know each other pretty well, so don't be surprised if I end up like glazing him and stuff. But no glaze, though. I think he should be a pretty good championship contender here this season. And yeah, now I think we're gonna start seeing people putting on the intermediates. Yeah, it's definitely starting to pour here in Silverstone. I don't know if this rain's gonna continue for the whole session. I'm not sure how the weather forecast looks, but yeah, we are about 9 minutes into testing here in Silverstone. We've kind of gone through the driver moves. Billy Kreger in the 136s on the hards. Still on track. Not sure if it's quite intermediate conditions. It might be, though. Seems like it's getting pretty slippery out there after what we saw with Maddox Beard sliding through the final corners. But, yeah. Not much to really talk about at this point. That's kind of what I was talking about. I don't know if I'll be commenting this whole thing. I might just kind of be silent for a little bit and let you guys just see some raw footage. But yeah, we did decide to do Silverstone though for testing this season. I probably should have played this out earlier, but yeah, we decided on Silverstone here for testing. We're thinking about doing 2 tracks, but we decided to do just 1 track, an hour-long session. So yeah, we decided to just do Silverstone because it's a fan favorite track and it has almost every type of corner, so it's a good track to do testing at, I feel like. And yeah, it's definitely probably pretty enjoyable for the drivers too. So yeah, as Billy Kreger makes his way through the hairpins and into here. I gotta figure out my court names here. I know this one's Brooklands. As a commentator, I really should know this stuff, but I'm not like a professional commentator, so yeah. But
I'm here. All right.
All right. This is Maddox Beard.
Just want you an update. Yeah. I didn't think it was actually gonna be raining. I probably should have just put it to sunny, but that's my bad. But Yeah, it's pretty pretty rough. As literally as soon as everyone got on track, it was raining, but pretty treacherous conditions. But this happened last season in the reverse race and qualifying, so I'm not really shocked. And actually, I think in the actual reverse race too, maybe. But yeah, I'm not shocked. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Is yep, Billy Cracker, the only car on track here. But yeah, that was Maddox Pure giving us an update. He'll be probably doing that for throughout this session here. Just give us some updates down at the track. We pretty much are in, not in race, but in testing report, I guess. Dylan Thick actually heading out on the softs. I well, actually, I don't know if he is on the softs. For some reason, it's saying he's on the softs. I don't know if he might be actually on the softs. I can't really tell.
yeah,
Yeah, he is.
it's gonna get pretty wet here in this about 45 minutes in. Yeah, about 45. Actually, from now basically 30, 35 minutes. It's gonna be about 88% wet on track. And actually, no, 93. Oh my goodness.
Holy. And
Yeah, this
is it gonna continue for like the whole session?
Fortunately, yeah. I mean, well, I mean, at the end it'll be like it won't be raining, but the track will still be wet. So I mean,
Yeah.
probably. But anyways, I'm gonna get set up and head on track, so I'll be gone for a bit.
Yep. It was Dylan Fake. Actually, wrapped the track a little bit there. Both Ferraris bottom of the board right now, but I don't think either one of them really got really a clean lap in. So yeah, it's Dylan Fake. I think he's just trying out the softs, I guess. Here he comes, heading through here, through the final corners. Gonna start a lap here on the softs in the wet conditions. So let's see what he can do. Bit odd of a choice from Dylan Fake, but see if he can improve. It's doubtful though, considering it's raining, but maybe because I think he might be able to go faster than a 134. I don't think he really got a clean lap to start off testing, and yeah, he might have to live with that for most of the session if it rains. Maybe all the session if it rains the whole session. But yeah, here he comes, making his way through here. I don't think obviously swept Silverstone last season. He won the reverse race and the forwards race, so it was overall pretty dominant weekend from Dylan Fake in Silverstone last season, and obviously it's his home track too, because he's obviously from Britain. So, this probably cool for Dylan Fake to have testing at his own track, I guess. But yes, here he comes, make his way through. Oh, Dylan Fake spins, and he does not DNF, but definitely got some damage there. He hit the wall pretty hard. Lucky he didn't DNF there. But, yeah, still fake. Gonna flip his way back to the pits. Yep, he's gonna head into the pit lane here. It's a pretty treacherous pit lane entrance there. Obviously, in a race, you don't want to speed into that pit lane. We saw that a lot with Brazil, but you can do that here in Silverstone too. It's fairly easy to do. So, yeah, do not want to do that, obviously. Obviously, though, in testing, it does not really matter if you do speed, because you just get a warning. But, yeah, as like Lonsbury went on track, but I think he's heading back into the pits. But here's Jonathan Hibbett. Jonathan Hibbett making his way out of the pit lane. He's third on the board right now with a 130.6. Testing times are really all over the place right now with the changeable conditions out here. But yes, Jonathan Hibbett on those cold tires on the intermediates, making his way through here. Billy Krieger still on track. Just setting laps on those hards. So yeah, here he comes. Actually, no, it's about to be 3 cars on track, I believe. Now 4. A lot of people are heading out now. Probably they took a little bit to get a setup in get a rain setup in, because I believe you can do that in practice. You can just test a bunch of setups, which is kind of what testing is for. As, yep, there's Dylan Thake heading back out on track for I repaired that front wing, and he's back out on track. So I also just realized both Ferraris are running different schemes, because, yeah, Dylan Thake's running the special scheme they ran at Monza, while Billy Cracker's just running the regular Ferrari. You'll probably see that a few times this season. We saw it at Vegas with the McLarens. Where one of them was running a special scheme, the other was running a normal scheme. I probably see that a lot this season, because you have to unlock those special schemes. I haven't personally unlocked any of them, but yeah. Here comes that's Jonathan Hibbett looking to the inside, gonna get a little bit of racing action here. That might be the first overtake of season 3. Yep, that's it's the Red Bull Jonathan Hibbett making his way through the hairpins. Yep. Dylan Thake. We'll see if he can improve. I doubt it though. It's gonna get pretty wet here. I think it's already pretty wet. Yep. Oh, really deep into Brooklands. We are like 15 minutes into the session. We got 43 minutes left here of testing. Pretty long session here in Silverstone. Yep. Hibbett makes his way through Cops and into Maggots and Beckett's here. Famous S's here at Silverstone. Then onto the Hanger Straight here. Probably maybe the longest straight on the track. And a really good passing zone into Stowe, but not going to see much of that here tonight in Silverstone yep. Makes his way through Stowe, and yeah, the driver's gonna look to get some rain practice, which is probably pretty valuable. Getting rain practice is pretty important, but I think dry practice is still a little bit better. But rain practice is still pretty good for whenever you do get rain, where he says you can't really predict when you will, so it's good to get it while you can. Yeah, we can pull up the lap data. I don't think we're going to see anyone really improving. But, yeah, everyone's basically going to be just down on time because of the rain. There's Maddox Beard, who gave us an update not too long ago. He's on track once again in the Red Bull. Makes his way through the final corners. Probably the most technical section of the track. Really tough to nail. Then you head back up, down the front stretch, and into turns 1 and 2. 2 kind of sweeping corners into the hairpins. Right on board with Maddox Spear here. Yeah, you see just sliding around the track yep. A lot of oversteer here. Not a lot of grip in the rainy conditions. Yep, into Brooklands. Beard makes his way through here. Doesn't seem like too bad of a lap, but it's definitely not going to be an improvement. But for these conditions, it's probably a pretty good lap. Just through Cops. Goes Beard sideways. Did not want to Bennett there. Into Nuggets and Beckett through yeses. This one Rusher, you gotta see, yeah, he's down 5 seconds on his first time. It's 1:31. That just shows how much slower the conditions are out here in the rain. But still, people are gonna be making laps here just to get practice, because just testing. But Pretty nice lap here from Maddox Street still for rainy conditions. Sideways through there, but doesn't seem terrible. As yeah, 138.3, which I don't think is too bad considering it's raining out here. But yeah, we're not gonna even see. We're not gonna really see anyone improve here. Probably for maybe the rest of the session. So these might be basically just the final results here. Testing those two McLarens here might have a little mini battle here. Yeah, they might be just doing a little race together. Gotta be careful though. Oh no! Yeah, that's Muggy Linsbury and Arno Moore now. They make contact. I think they're just doing a little mini race though. Because why not? Oh goodness! It really goes to colliding. I gotta be careful. They are teammates. Doesn't really matter. It's testing, but still. Yep. Both McLarens make their way through towards 1 and 2, both top of the board, which might be a first for McLaren. But yeah, here we go. And that's Jonathan Hibbett behind them. So right on board here with Michael Lonsberry. But yeah, it's just really treacherous through Brooklyn's, especially the dirty air. Might be really our first battle of season 3 though. Also, McLaren's doing a little test race. Yep. Both McLarens make their way through Maggots and Beckett. So here we go. It might go at it once again here. Yep, here we go. Arno Moore now behind Michael Lonsberry here. Here we go. Not going at it here, but we'll see in the final corner. That was a good run from Arno Moore now. Ooh, he's going to make a move here. No. Oh, almost runs into him. Yeah, Arno Moore now seems a little bit better. So here we go. Ooh, got to be careful. Very careful. I did not want to wreck. You don't want to take yourself out of testing. That's the main thing. That's still possible. And you do not want that. Yep. We go. Make their way. Oh, we're not touch the grass there. Both of them really struggling in these wet conditions. But yeah, it's a nice battle to watch here between the two McLarens who are top of the board here in Silverstone. Yep, they make their way through here once again. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Arno Moore almost went to the old pit lane. Obviously this is the old pit straight where the front stretch used to be. But now it's not. But yeah, it used to be there like 10 years ago or whatever. But yeah, it's Arno Moore now. And Michael Lonsberry might go at it here. Oh, over the curb by Arno Moore now. So a little slide. See whether there be any moves here. Doesn't look like it. I don't know if they're really trying to battle. But this session is also a good session to try to get get both cars like a team faster. Like maybe the faster car of a team maybe could, a faster driver of a team could maybe Zolier. Here we go, side by side. Oh, contact, and around goes Michael Lonsberry into the wall. And I think Arno Moore now is going to wait up. But I think that's damage for Michael Lonsberry. But around they both go. Yeah, Arno Moore now, I think he might wait up. Or okay, now like Michael Lonsberry going to do a little test start here. Probably see that a few times during the session. Maybe toward the end of the session, though. We'll see those test starts. But yeah. Anyway, so what I was saying is, this is also a good session. Like if like for just a team to get faster, like maybe the faster driver of a team could help the slower driver get faster. Like this is a good time for teammates to like communicate here. There's only 3 teams here. I didn't even notice it, but we only have like 3 teams here testing here tonight. As yep. Oh, more now here makes his way through cops. As yep. Let's see. There's Maddox Beard once again, and there's also the Ferrari of Dylan Thake. I think Billy Gregor, he's gone 11 laps on those hards, and on the rainy conditions, he's got to be struggling out there on dry tires and wet conditions. That's not easy. But he's got 11 laps on those hards, which is kind of wild. Might be practicing some tire saving, but I don't know how valuable that would be in the wet conditions. But you see the track is getting very wet here in Silverstone, and yeah, not really a sign of this rain stopping. So yeah, Max Beard and still the 138s. As Michael Lonsberry makes his way into the pit, he's going to repair that front wing and might get back out there. Out of more now. Oh, went a little bit close to the grass there, but yeah, here we go. Using all this track, and yeah, he makes his way down the Wellington Straight. So now Holton really commented over at this point of testing. We're about halfway through testing here in Silverstone. Quite a long session, but good for the drivers to get testing in here in Britain. There's Maddox Beard on actually a fresher set of intermediates. Yep. So here he comes, making his way through the S's, close to the grass, gonna keep it clean. As you can see, it's just getting wetter and wetter by the lap here at Silverstone. And just imagine if this is in a race, it could get absolutely chaotic if it's like this in the actual race later this season. Because this track is obviously on the schedule. It's kind of a must to be on a schedule, to be honest, in any F1 league, in my opinion. But yeah, just imagine if this was the conditions during a race, it could definitely get interesting. So it's good practice for the drivers, though. Like good car control, obviously need really good car control during the wet conditions, and yeah, it's definitely a different type of driving for sure. To drive in the wet conditions versus the dry conditions. But yep. Here's Dylan Thake making his way up into the final corners. He's gone 6 laps on these intermediates, about to be 7. As yep, here comes Dylan Thake here. Once again, obviously times are really spread out here in testing, mainly just because the first laps are really the fastest laps because it just started raining right away, so we couldn't really get much dry laps in. But people that did are obviously faster, so that's why it's such a big gap from second to third, because both McLarens went out fairly early and both got pretty good laps in. So it's not the best representation on pace here in testing, but still good testing for these drivers. So yep, if this was season 1, we'd be wrapping up testing here in about 25 seconds, but we still got 30 more minutes here because we're doing double length from last time we did testing in season 1. So yep, pretty sure we were gonna do testing last season, but I think we just got lack of drivers, which is a problem at the start of season 2. Yeah, we just kind of lacked drivers, and yeah, but we started to get more toward the end of season 2. So yeah, now John Tibbet is not on track, but he just put on the wets. So yeah, he's heading out now. So John Tibbet puts on the full wet condition or full wet tires. So um, yeah, not that just tells us that the track is very wet because full wets are a tire that probably aren't isn't really used all that much. Pretty uncommon to see full wet conditions, but yep, that's what we're seeing here tonight. And yep, full wet conditions here in Silverstone, about halfway through, with no sign of this rain stopping. Yep, we're gonna have to see what how Jonathan Hibbett feels on those wet tires. Only one that's out on track on the wets. We'll see if anyone else tries the wets. Billy Geiger also finally came in for the intermediates. We're probably not going to be able to improve that time anyway. No one will be able to improve their time really in these conditions. But yeah, we're right on board here with Jonathan. Let's see how he feels here, or how it looks like he feels, I guess, or how his car is handling. Yeah, feather the throttle there through the exit of the S's, then down the Anger straight and into Stowe. Let's see how the car handles through here because it's pretty kind of tough on the car this corner. Yeah, it seems like really feathering the throttle. Ease it to the throttle. Likes to have a really aggressive driving style, which is a pretty common thing you see on F124, which is probably why he was really good on F124. But yeah, here we go. Jonathan Hibbett makes his way through here. Ooh. Locks up a little bit there. Doesn't seem terrible though. Looks like he has a good amount of grip. Full wets. The second Rebel we've rode on board with today, because obviously we rode on board with Maddox Beard earlier in the session. But yeah, he doesn't seem actually too bad on those full wets, but we'll see if it's even fast. Probably not. Yep. It's a little wide through Cops, but not too bad. Not sure that is behind him. That's Dylan Thake. Here we got a little bit of racing action here. Billy Krieger and McLaren. Which McLaren is it? That would be Ardo Mornow. So Ferrari versus McLaren here. Not two McLarens battling it out this time. I think Ardo Mornow might scoot away here. As through Cops. McLaren and Ferrari go as, yep, Ardo Mornow top of the board here right now in testing, and probably going to stay that way if it keeps raining here. So a little big slide through there, but yeah, I think the McLaren's going to be two drivers to really watch out for, and definitely a team to watch out for in general this season. I mean, they're 1-2 on the board right now, so that does show. I think they're going to be a team to look out for here in Season 3. You do want to point out this league is on equal performance. It's not realistic performance, because you can do that on F125. Ran a little wide there, Automore now, but yeah, we can do realistic performance or equal performance. We do equal performance just to show driver skill and not just the car. And yeah, it's just a coincidence that McLaren's top of the board, but usually they haven't had much success until now, basically. they started to get a decent lineup at the end of season 2, but before that, they were basically just nowhere to be seen. But yep, there's John Thibbett and Dylan Fake, the Ferrari, and the Red Bull, as Dylan Fake has gone 10 laps on those intermediates, so doing a nice long run on those intermediate tires. Still, John Thibbett's the only one to put on the full wet, so maybe it's not quite full wet conditions. Maybe Hibbett's just trying it out, but yeah, here we go. Ferrari makes his way through here. He's in the 143s. If a reference to that lap, the session's a 128. So it shows how much the track just slowed down with the rain, which was kind of to be predicted here in Silverstone if we got rain. Yep. So, Maddox Beard slides. Good save. That was a good save from Maddox Beard there. Wow, that was a big save and a big moment in testing from Maddox Beard. Good save from him. As, yeah, he's sliding. Sends it into the gravel. And, yeah, I assume he might just come into the pits here. Got 6 off from those intermediates. And, yeah, he comes into the pits. He was basically just doing drifting around Silverstone as, yep, slides into the pits. But, yeah, Maddox Beard currently 4th on the board here in testing. As, yep, the shot of it, and that's also McLaren approaching him. That'd be Michael Lonsberry, who's 2nd on the board, and it being 3rd on the board. See, Michael Lonsberry seems very good. He's on the intermediates, and yep, Hibbett's just gonna let him through, not gonna impede him at all. And yep, I don't think the full wets are really the fastest tire right now. It's not really a tire you really commonly see anyway. Intermediates are usually faster, depending on how wet it is, but it seems pretty wet out here. For sure in Silverstone, so I can see why Hibbett wanted to try the full wets, but no one else really tried that. No one's really taken that gamble, but yep. Yep.
Yeah, well, yeah, track's only getting worse. There's just drifting there. And,
I saw that.
It is treacherous out there. I just gotta come in for wet. My inners were getting cooked out there. Holy cow.
Yeah.
This is pretty rough. This might be the most rain we've ever seen in Formula Allegiant, honestly. I don't know.
Yeah. It's probably a good thing it's in testing and not an actual race though. But yeah. But yeah, that's good information to know. That's probably getting to the full wet conditions because yeah, John Thibbett is on the full wets right now. He's gone 3 laps on those full wets, but yeah, we'll see if any other drivers switch over to the full wets. But yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, pretty fun. A little bit boring, not a whole lot of action. I'm gonna do probably a practice like race start here in a few moments. Hopefully hopefully no one's coming around when I do that, but I'm gonna try that just to tell you, just in case.
Yeah.
Because I think they do that in real life. So.
Yeah, Michael Lutzberry did that earlier. But we could always try to like organize it where the whole field tries a little test race. But
I said in the general chat, if anyone wants to do it, like it's responded. I'll do it either way. I don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, oh my gosh, there's a clear dry line right now. Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, looks like it's gonna be McLaren, Red Bull, Ferrari. It's basically how real life is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'll probably be maybe back one more time. Actually, I don't know. I'll probably be back one more time. Actually, I don't know. It's only 20 minutes left, but
yeah.
Anyways.
All right. thank you, Max Spear, once again for the update. But yeah, we got 20 minutes left here of testing here. We are in the final half here of pre-season testing in season 3, and then all eyes set on Australia for the season opener in season 3. I saw the big slide from Jonathan. Is yeah, Max Beard. Just talking about it. He just put on the full wets, and I don't know if he's about to go on track, but he did put on the full wets. Both the Red Bulls are now going to be setting laps on the full wet tires, or just the wet tires. So, yep. As Yep, Artem Moore now still top of the board, and yeah, no one's really gonna probably challenge him in times because the conditions are so bad out here, and the rain might stop, but I don't think the track's not gonna dry up enough, even if the rain does stop. So yeah, I think Artem Moore now is basically set to be top of the board in testing. I think these are basically gonna be your final results as it looks for times. But yeah, how about we go ahead and just give you guys some raw footage here of testing for the next few minutes, because why not get some raw footage here? So you won't hear me yapping, you just hear these cars just go round circles here in Silverstone. So yeah, we'll do that here. I guess crank it up if you want, if you know NASCAR, but obviously it's not a NASCAR league, so I don't expect a lot of people to know that. Anyways, yeah, give you guys some raw footage, and I'll be back to yapping here in a few minutes. So, yep, let's give you guys some raw footage here in Silverstone. 14 minutes left here of preseason testing as, yep, you saw Max Beard sliding down the front stretch. But, yeah, Autumn Mornow just did a test race starting. I saw Max Beard doing a test race start. So, yeah, see a bunch of people, maybe not a bunch of people, but some people do that. Toward the end of this session. Probably not going to get a full field like we did in Season 1 testing. We're probably not going to get a full field, full race start, but we'll see. Probably just one singular car test starts. But, yep, we got 13 and a half minutes left of pre-season testing as, yep, Maddox Beard making his way through here down the old pit straight and into Cops as, yep, there's Dylan Thake and here's Michael Lonsberry doing another test start. So, yep, we're going to see some people do that as, yep, here he goes, making his way off the line. Good thing is, when you do that, you ghost. So if someone comes around that final corner and you're on the racing line or something, they probably they won't be able to hit you because you're ghosted. But either way, if you're off the racing line, they probably wouldn't hit you anyway. But yeah, as here we go. Max Beard making his way through the final corners here. On those wet tires here, he's gonna set his second lap on the wets as, yep, here he comes. Doesn't slide down the front just like he did like 2 minutes ago, but yeah, been interesting preseason testing for sure. Not been the most entertaining stream, and not been the most entertaining for me personally to comment it. Obviously, it's not a race, but still good to give you guys some extra information on season 3, and yeah, we get to see the first time the season 3 drivers get out on track with driver moves and stuff. So yeah, it's a good test session for these drivers. But yep, 11 and a half minutes left here of testing as, yep, Michael Lonsberry making his way through the final corners. As, yeah, it's still raining, and at this point, if it stops raining, it's probably not going to dry up. It might actually, knowing the F1 games, but it probably won't, and I don't think it's really going to stop raining for a while. So, yeah, probably just going to be dealing with these conditions for the last 10 minutes of this session. As, yep, as there's a Ferrari behind him. That would be Dylan Thake behind the McLaren here. So here he comes, going to go around the outside into Stowe. Yep, there's been a lot of memorable moments in Silverstone for sure, obviously. Dylan Thake's domination in Season 2, but Season 1 was also one of the first times we saw Sam Lewis getting challenged by David Albon, the first being Spain, second being Silverstone, and in that same corner still is where they had a little collision, and Sam Lewis still won that race, of course, because he's Sam Lewis, but yeah, but Dylan Thake and who's that? That would be Michael. Oh, or no, that'd be Arnaud Mornau. Apologies. They're both right near each other here in testing. As that McLaren looked like they had a bunch of grip exiting the hairpins there. As, yeah, Dylan Thake gained that slipstream, but couldn't get around him. Not sure if he's going to try to get around him, but yeah, we're under 10, oh my goodness, I can't talk. 10 minutes left here of pre-season testing. 50 minutes down, and we got the last 10 minutes to go. As, yep, there's Max Beard, and oh, here's some moves here with the Ferrari and the McLaren. Good old test racing here. They're on the intermediates still. Dylan Thake has got 19 laps on those intermediates, which is absurd. I mean, it's got to be screaming. So here comes Medic Spirit closing in on these two, on the still the only one actually on the full wet tires now. He was the second to try it. Hibbett was the first, but now Hibbett switched back to the intermediates as yeah he's on track also on his out lap as yeah there he is making his way through there. But yeah, we got a little three-car battle here with Ardmore not kind of running away. Both on pretty worn intermediates though, and Magic Spear kind of hunting them down because he's on fresher wets. So a little bit of racing action here to end off preseason testing. A good preview for Australia on Friday. So not a very long break from testing to Australia, the opening race of the season, as Magic Spear got around Dylan Thick, and now he's looking to get around Ardon Moore now. First time Magic Spear has obviously raced those two, because yeah, they both joined last season, and yeah, Magic Spear obviously raced season 1, did not race the last season, as I was close between the McLaren and the Red Bull there, but Magic Spear goes around both of them pretty easily. Yeah, as Magic Spear spins, keeps it off the wall, as yeah, Magic Spear in the gravel here in Cops. Apologies for not having the most energetic what the heck, that was an interesting camera angle, but anyways, apologies for not having those energetic commentary here tonight, but yeah, it's obviously just testing, and I'm also a little bit sick also, so so that's also another factor into it, but yeah, we'll have some racing action coming up here this Friday in Australia. I said it like a billion times already, but yeah, is Max Spear gonna drift through through Stowe once again? He's probably gonna make his way into the pits here. No, he's actually not. He's gonna stay out on those wets. Yeah, he might be trying to do a drift lap. This is interesting, as I don't know if he really is trying to, but it looks like he is. As yeah, he's gonna cool down the wets here. So here he comes. See, he might try to start a lap here. Oh, sliding, saves it again. So here he comes, making his way through here. Gonna drift it again. I think he literally is trying to do some drifting here in Silverstone. Oh my goodness. Drifting an F1 car is pretty fun, actually. If you haven't tried it on the F1 games, you should try it because it's actually kind of fun. Cause yeah, he did spin right there. But yeah, there's Magic Spear though. Yep, Jonathan Hibbett, his teammate, making his way through the two hairpins. Probably gonna close up on Magic Spear here soon. For some reason, the McLaren of Michael Lansbury has looked to go on the softs. Not sure why, but he's going out on the softs to close out testing here, probably. But yep, we got about 5 minutes left here of testing. As yep, Ardmore now looking like he's going to be top of the board because it's still raining here at Silverstone. No sign of it drying up. So Ardmore now, I think he was like the second car over the line in the dry conditions, and yep, he is top of the board, and multiple McLaren's going to be top of the board as Magic Spear cuts Magnussen and Beckett's there. Just kind of probably messing around at this point. They've had an hour of testing. It's kind of valid at this point as yep, Magic Spear. Oh goodness, smashes the I believe that's a brake sign there. And his teammate Jonathan Hibbett goes around him. So here we go. Hibbett makes his way through the final corners here. Obviously, not gonna really be any improvements. Be a little bit more interesting if we could, if it was just dry the whole way to see improvements. Oh goodness, that was a big moment for Magic Spear there. yeah, at this point I think he's just messing around, which is kind of valid. But yeah, 4 minutes left here of practice. Can see everyone saying their final laps here of testing and the final data in, and yeah, final practice in before Australia. So here we go. More now, top of the board, and he's gonna probably stay there. As yep, he's gonna probably set one last lap. Let's see. Oh wait, there's Michael Asbury. Do one last test start here. There's a Ferrari coming by him. As yep, he does his test start there once again. I think he's done the most test starts this session. At least what I see on the broadcast. This is Billy Kreger. We haven't really seen. I haven't really given Billy Kreger a lot of TV time, so we'll give him some now. But yeah, Billy Kreger was definitely kind of an underdog last season. I feel like, but he was still kind of in contention for some wins. He's really good at managing tires. He's really good on the long run, and yeah, he did that really well. And probably his best performance was Vegas, where he got P2 and almost was able to win that race over Royce Crown. Royce Crown's not here tonight, but he should be here for Australia. But Royce Crown is your defending champion for this season. He was champion of season 2. They'll likely see him in Australia, and yeah, that'd be also the same race he won in season 2 also. Alright. Max Spear gonna let these guys through as they headed to Brooklands here. 2 minutes left here of testing. As Ottomore now said multiple times, but yeah, he's top of the board and gonna stay there. He kind of saying the same stuff. There's not much to really talk about during testing anyway. As yeah, Michael Lonsbury gonna make his way through the final corners, and here he comes to maybe start his, yeah, I don't know if it'll be his final lap of testing, but it might be. It'll be kind of close for him. We'll see if he can get one more lap in. I don't know if he's very eager to anyway. But yeah, everyone's gonna start their final laps here testing here shortly, as we got yellow flags. That's Medic Spirit letting people by as yep, Ardo Morna gonna start his final lap. Same with Jonathan Hibbett, Medic Beard. Don't think might be on his final lap here. It'll be close for him. He's on fresh intermediates now. He went a while on the one intermediate set. Both Ferraris to practice long run pace. Is Maddox Spear gonna do one last test start here? As yep, here he goes. That's right on board with Dylan Fate here. I don't think he rode on board with any of the Ferraris here, so I just want to do that here for these last few moments of testing. As yep, what the Ferrari on boards look like. But anyways, as Billy Carter gonna start his final lap. Let's see if the McLaren they get one last lap here. That'll be interesting. Mike Lonsbury, I don't think he will. It's just gonna, yeah, I think he might just, yeah, he's sliding through still. He might just come into the pits. No, he's not gonna come into the pits. He's gonna finish it out. As, yep. As clock has run out, and that is testing over. As everyone's gonna come over the line here for the final time here in preseason testing. Otto Mornell is gonna be second over the line. And it's basically official. Otto Mornell top of the board here in preseason testing as he makes his way to the final corners to finish his final lap here of preseason testing. Otto Mornell top of the board in preseason testing. Good start to the season for Mornell, as Hibbett's going to cut the final corners because why not? As yep. is gonna finish that out. As now just the two Ferraris that need to finish here. Which is gonna be Billy Crager next over the line. Billy Crager, unfortunately, last, but I don't think he really really did any push laps. At least in the dry conditions, he didn't really do any push laps. So yeah, it's definitely not going to be Billy Crager's true pace. Not a lot of this isn't really going to be anyone's true pace. But yeah, Billy Crager going to make his way over the line in P6, and Dylan Fake in the Ferrari going to make his way through the final corners. Last car over the line in preseason testing. An hour-long testing session is done, and now we get to see some racing action in Australia. Dylan Fake heads over the line to be in P5. As, yep, that wraps up preseason testing in Silverstone. Series of results. Arda Mornell, top of the board. And Michael Lunsberry second. Jonathan Abbott third. Maddox Beer fourth. Dylan Fake fifth. And Billy Crager sixth. So, yep. That will do it for preseason testing. As yeah, that gap between the McLarens is really close. Also, I just want to point that out. 9,000 of a second early in the session, which is kind of wild. But yeah, we'll go ahead. Not sure if I'll be able to do interviews. Yeah, I'm not really sure if I'll be able to do interviews because I do got to get to another league race. So yeah. Alright, back out of the session here because obviously we just did a practice session and we don't want to do the other sessions. So yeah, alright. I'm just gonna try to figure it out here if I can do interviews here. I don't know. Alright, well if we don't do interviews, that will basically wrap it up for tonight. Alright. But yep. Alright, so we're just gonna go ahead and skip interviews. I gotta get to another league race here in like 10 minutes, so I don't want to cut it too close with interviews. So, yeah. But yeah, that was a pretty interesting pre-season testing. I don't even know if anyone wanted interviews because no one's even in the VC for it. But yep, as that will do it for pre-season testing. We'll have opening titles out for Australia on Friday, and yeah, we'll have opening titles and be much more probably organized here. We'll be back to form here for Formula Allegiant in season 3. So, yep, that'll do it for me. See you guys on Friday for the season opener in Australia. Bryce Groff signing off.